Ken Day is with us, and he is the superintendent of the wastewater treatment plant here in Coldwater. And we're going to talk about the facility, how many gallons of water go through, how you purify it. We're also going to talk about some of the new things happening with industry coming up. But let's just start, Ken. Welcome to our community. Talk to me about the wastewater treatment plant and kind of the process that you do.
Okay, well, thanks for having me here, Tim. First off, our plant can handle a peak flow of about 8 million gallons per day, which we do push that volume during the spring weather and when we get the snow melt off, which I'm sure will happen here soon, hopefully. But we average about 3 to 3.2 million gallons a day that come into the plant. And the way any wastewater plant system works, we do the same thing Mother Nature does. Where Mother Nature takes about 8 months to treat a gallon of water, our wastewater plant can clean that gallon of water in about 8 hours. Mm-hmm. So to go through the process of what happens when wastewater comes in, it's still like 99% water, but we have to remove some of the organics and inorganics that are in there. First step is it comes into our bar screen, and the bar screen is pretty much what it sounds like. We're going to remove rags, sticks, stones, toys, anything that can go down the sewer that's not water or organics is going to hopefully be pulled out by our band screen. Mm-hmm. From there, we're going to go to primary settling tanks, and then from there, we're going to slow the water down and get it just settle out like you would like coffee filters or something. And we're going to remove, that's going to remove probably about 40% of the organics. Mm-hmm. And from there, the effluent from the primary is going to go to, we have Trickling Filters that's has organisms that are growing on like an algae on a rock media.
Okay.
And that helps remove some phosphorus and organic food, like we call it biological organics. And from there, that effluent is going to go off to our aeration tanks. And there we have a mixed liquor with our organisms that continue to feed on to help remove ammonia, nitrogen, phosphorus, and any more BODs that are in there in the wastewater. And then from there we go to a clarifying mechanisms where we settle out that mixed liquor to keep our bugs and that, and then we have a clear effluent that's starting to look a little more like tap water. When it comes in, it's more grayish in color. Mm-hmm. And so we're starting to get close to what it's coming out of your tap. So, okay. But we have a few more steps from the clarifiers. We're going to go through these polishing disc filters we have, and it's pretty much like pushing the water through a cloth. So we remove a little more of the suspended solids that are still left over, and then from there we go to our disinfection. And we use UV disinfection or ultraviolet light, and all it intensifies and it kills all the harmful bacteria from reproducing, and they only have a life cycle of about 10 to 12 hours, so they're pretty much die by the time they hit our receiving waters, and that's going to remove any harmful bacteria that's going to cause typhoid or diphtheria, and to make sure once it goes into our chain of lakes and that it's going to be safe for anyone that comes in contact with it.
So it's really quite a process from point A to point Z all the way through.
Oh, correct. Yes, it's a long process, and it's probably about set over a 40-acre site, and you're probably looking at everything that we have invested here in Coldwater, probably $200 million.
Mm-hmm. And so people know, water is not something that's, renewable. This is water from years and years and years.
Years, for millions of years, correct. The same water you and I drink, we pour out of our tap water, the same water the dinosaurs have drank. So that's why it's very important that we keep our waterways clean and do our effort to make sure that, this water is going to be there for our future generations to use.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the industrial aspect of what's going on. What are you guys doing?
We're stepping up our industrial pretreatment program there, and what that involves, the federal EPA and also the Michigan DEQ helped incorporate this in 1972 with the Clean Water Act, where all municipalities that have big industries that discharge water into the sewer systems, that they're required to, in essence, make sure that what they put into the sewers don't interrupt the wastewater treatment process or don't pass through to where it's going to cause a problem to where we can't clean the water. Mm-hmm. And then that involves us going down and working with each industry and meeting with them one-on-one and doing inspections and even helping them set up a treatment process for their system to help remove any metals that they might have depending on the process they have or cleaning up, or they might have to have some settling tanks to make sure that they settle out as much stuff as they can before they put it in the sewer, and then they have to have their own people come in and clean that stuff out. So
now, is there a certain size industry that you work with, or is it every business?
Well, we'd like to eventually get every business, even down to the fast food industries and that, because the fats, oils, and grease is a real big problem. coming into the sewer system, because that can turn, once it gets into the sewer lines, it can turn hard and clog up into where that's where a lot of the sewer backups happen. But right now we're concentrating on the bigger industries and anything that discharges any more than 25,000 gallons a day. And Coldwater has about 6 to 7 of them right now. So, and that's the ones we're really concentrating on. They've been more than friendly in working with us, so it's a good working environment.
Well, it's a good working relationship for sure. Anything else happening in the wastewater treatment area?
Yes, we're looking at a major upgrade to our State Street lift station. That encompasses probably about 40% of the entire town of Coldwater comes through that lift station. So we're looking at probably at least a $250,000 upgrade. We're going to eventually remove the old lift station completely and put a brand new one in and be breaking ground hopefully in 2014 this year in November, and hopefully be up in service by the spring of 2015.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people just think, well, tap water goes down the drain, flush my toilet, and that's the end of it. But there's really quite a process then that everything goes through.
What I wanted to remind people is to make sure that that they don't put anything down the toilet except toilet paper. So there's a lot of problems that can cause. We only have about 8 to 12-inch pipes here in Coldwater, and even Q-tips and the septic wipes that should go in the trash. Those start balling up, and that's really starting to be a concern for our guys that have to clean the sewers out, and that's where you're getting a lot of our backups.
Okay. Talk with Ken Day. He's the superintendent of the wastewater treatment plant here in Coldwater. Ken, is there anything else before we go?
No.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for being with us.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Sorry
Talking about wastewater treatment plant here with Ken Day. I'm Tim Hart, and you're watching Our Community.